That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
There you go. I'll just turn that down and people can finally hear us. How's everyone going over the weekend? So it's another Sunday night and we are live again. The crazy people have come out to play. So, how have we got here in the show, Brett?
We've got about 6.
Say hello to everyone. How you going, Lauren?
Hello.
Riss? How you going, Daniel? Good to see you. Congratulations on your new group there. You know, it seems like it's all happening. Like it's growing really fast. Like it only opened up yesterday and it's already ram-packed full of people. Yeah, and Sharon is here. How you going, Sharon? And Bill is here. How you going, Bill? Yeah, so it's the usual people that have come through the door, Brett.
Good.
It's good news.
Very good.
So we're just going to do an audio check. If someone can let us know if the audio is good and if everyone can hear everyone.
Yeah, we're sort of having some audio issues before we went live.
Yeah, we just expensive week so far, says Daniel. Eh? What's this? Expensive week. So far, sound level is low on you, Mark, about 8 decibel.
Yeah,
okay, I'll just
that's what I was saying before, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I brought that right up now. So how does that sound now? It's our group, says Daniel. Yes. There you go. So it's all collaboration.
Was it Daniel talking about my mic last time? It was not good or something, someone mentioned, but
okay, so I'm going to bring your audio down a little bit, Brett.
Yep,
that's much better, says Michelle. So from now, can someone let us know what the audio is like? Yeah. I've just played around for levels a little bit.
I just ordered a mod pipe from Rode. It's going to be turning up next week before the next show, hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as I get the mic and the cable with it, so hopefully you'll get a better sound out of me next show.
That's fabulous. That's good news that you got an Australian-made microphone. We've got to mention that, you know. So Rode, woo woo woo.
I'm all for supporting Rode.
Yeah, we just need more Australian manufacturers that actually bring that sort of bring out good gear and good stuff. I mean, Rode has been around for many years, and it's they should be paying me for this, right?
And if anybody doesn't know about the new Rode pod mic they brought out, it's only about $150 Australian.
It's not a bad microphone actually. It's come out, so yeah.
And but you got a next one from Rode that's a bit higher and more expensive one, haven't you? That
my microphone is just here. If I just sink that down and people can sort of see it there. But yeah, that's a Rode NT1.
Same here.
On a C stand of all things. I just find the C stand better than a microphone arm. I've got a blue microphone arm and it's sitting here. It's lying on the ground here, not doing much because it's just too short. It is about goes up to there. Yeah. And it elbows over that way, so it's too short an arm.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a Rode arm as well. Like Rode makes something like that. It's sort of like a table stand light type of arm, and it's just way too short and not high enough.
Yeah. Well, Daniel's talking about the USB power bug. I'm on the USB at the moment. with my bearing. I can't even say that. Behringer interface is on the USB, but it's actually plugged into the pin jack, not the what's that cable called? The microphone proper one. XLR, that's right. Yeah. But
yeah, it's we need XLR. If, for anyone that doesn't really know, I'll just give you a quick idea. The XLR plugs are sort of like a round plug with 3 points in it, and it's used by musicians a lot in audio work, and XLR gives you the ability to power the microphone via phantom power. Phantom powers 48 volts usually, and it powers and it gives you a better better sound. Simple.
And this where this new MyPod from Rode doesn't need phantom power, which is really good. Yeah.
Well, Brett, I'm just going to do the intro. Everyone put your dance shoes on and we'll get into it, okay? So we'll see you guys back on after the intro video, okay? And then we'll just get into the show. Okay, see you afterwards. So here we are again in our full show now. So if anyone that didn't come into the pre-show, hello everyone. I can see new faces here. I can see Oreo Manoni has actually come in. So
hello,
he's doing a late show together with Daniel. Is it early morning over there? I think it's Italy, isn't it, Oreo? You're in Italy?
Yeah, Italy.
And Daniel is from the Netherlands. And everyone else here, Barry Street is from Aussie. I think everyone else here is in Australia. So we'll get there. There's a few people here from Sydney.
G'day,
Azza has come in. How are you going, Azza? Brett, how was your week so far? All good?
So how was your week and week, Mark?
Yeah, it's been pretty good actually. I've done a fair bit. Went out and got new clothes. So yeah, watch it. Gone into maroon look. So anyone that doesn't know, we've actually got a rugby team here. They're called the Maroons.
Yeah.
Here in Queensland.
So, and I hear that you went out with the boys the other night.
Yeah, we gassed on. I had to go into the city here in Brisbane and get my iPad checked out, and it turned out that it's unrepairable and it has basically become a doorstop. But I did catch up with two photographers the other day with Tan and Craig.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
we caught up, had a few drinks, had a few laughs, so it's thank God we're going into normality.
But
you should have been there. Brett was fun.
But
so it's
look,
11 a.m. Okay.
I was, but yeah, I was laying papers during the week, so I kept myself busy, and I took the family up to Mullaney and Monville, up for a day, and obviously went and visit to all the the wineries and the cheese factories and stuff like that, and yeah, so did a little bit of photography, but yeah, ran out of time. But we were mainly up there just for family time and meeting some friends we haven't seen for a long time. Yep, that was my sort of week. But yeah,
I'm just seeing Lauren is saying that she's losing audio, so I'm not sure if everyone else is having that problem at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know if there's any issues, guys.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so Daniel says the stream is solid so far, so I'm not sure about what's happening there, Lauren. Sorry.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah.
Fantastic shot at One Tree Hill.
Yeah, I'm going to show that later.
Tell us about this, Brett. Where did you go? You went to get some booze up in the mountains, I heard.
Well, where that shot was, that was in Mullaney. Where the winery is, Flame Tree Hill is up more Montville area. The classy little township Montville, absolutely packed. No one was really obeying the social rules at the time, and it was really struggling to keep distancing away from people, and it was just packed.
Yeah, it just seems like here in Australia right now we seem to be non-blasé about it, and we're thinking that it's over. I had that same thing when I went supermarket shopping, and I went into a shopping centre, and it just seems like everyone was just as if everything has gone back to normal again.
Yeah,
it's a real strange atmosphere.
So people, if you're out and about, just be aware that you still need to do your social distancing and washing your hands and stuff, because there's fears that there'd be a second wave, and we do not want to go back in a state where you have to shut down again. You just can't do it. So yeah. Well,
there you go. Daniel was offering his abilities, into fixing up things as a sound engineer. So I've actually got one picture that I got to show Daniel afterwards, and because he just set up his home studio, and it's pretty impressive.
I saw that. Yes,
yeah, I'm a bit jealous when I see that. Right. It's a massive table, massive monitors, and everything that's going on there.
He's looking more pro than you, really.
Oh, absolutely. But Daniel has always been pro. I'm just catching up. I'm the little player in this game. So. Yeah. Oh, winery, says Sharon. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that Brett is gonna share at least one bottle with me.
Yeah.
Got Marriott Secret, says Riz. So yeah, that's in the mountains, very near where you were yesterday, Brett.
Yeah. See, I never heard of that one. Is that another winery? Riz Secrets? That yeah.
I think there's an interference coming through your audio there, Brett. I think it's a phone interference.
Okay.
Not sure, but anyway, just that's better.
Yeah,
it was probably just too close to your connection. And
there was another chapel in Montville where people get married. It's a glass sort of sandstone building that I noticed that people get married. It's absolutely stunning. I would love to do a wedding there one day. I can't remember the name, but it's sort of locked off from the public. So
Oh, that's Is that your audio?
Yeah, look, I had the heater on for a
There's
minute.
some sort of buzzing noise that's coming through my ear.
I
I'm
turned
just
it
hearing
off. Yeah, it is starting to get drop temperature now. It's been raining and that, and now we're in the night time. So, yeah. Oh, Lake, yeah, on Lake Byron, Barwon, yes.
Yeah.
No, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, Secrets. Yeah, I stayed at Secrets, and it's all the rooms have got all this wood carving and everything inside. You know, everything's been handmade inside.
Yeah.
You know, like the staircase railing, everything has been carved out, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Brett. Well, how about we get into the first part of the show, and we'll tree houses. Yes, exactly right. I think they all got animal names. All these huts at Secrets. Yeah, really nice place. So now what we are going to talk about is basically a few things that have actually come up in the news this week, and we'll just bring that up straight away, and we'll get straight into the images now. Oh, yes. Well, before I do that, I'll just bring up a few little bits and pieces, just a bit of house cleaning here. We have got our Facebook groups, and we just want to mention them for people that are not in the know yet. Brett has got his own. He's the administrator of Sony Alpha Brisbane. And I have my own Facebook group. It's called Photographers Collective, and we are sort of like just sort of hanging our badge out there and helping our people. We do regular photo walks, etc., and or Brett does especially, and there you can sort of always see the latest information about what is actually going on.
Yeah, and people can see the latest video that Mark did from the last photo walk. He posted one up there. Yeah, good work, Mark. I did enjoy that. So hopefully we're going to have more content behind the scenes and stuff from Mark and mine, whatever we do, photo walks and workshops. Well.
Yeah, Daniel, at the moment, Brett is just waiting for his microphone to come so he can work on noise gates, etc., and we can just go from there. Yeah, we are aware of that part of the audio. We're trying to still suss it out. Okay, so how's our stream going? I'm just having a look and making sure everything is still A-OK there, and it seems to be running all right. Okay, so Brett, news from this week has been this. I'm not sure if you have seen the actual unit yet. So it's the new PlayStation PS5. So overall, it just looks like a solid machine. Apparently, there are two different versions out. One has got a hard drive inbuilt, and the other one does not actually have a hard drive, and it's sort of like it's just a internet centric. So you actually go onto the is it the Sony server, and you can play games via there. I'm not a game player. I don't know about you, Brett.
I have to say this, Sony will shoot me, but this is before I became an advocate. I was an Xbox, so yeah.
Oh, you didn't have to say that, right?
But I had to say Xbox. But look, to what I've seen, PlayStation, really good. Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as if you're happy with either platform. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm bringing this up is also that there was there was some sort of talk about that there was a bit of a shortage happening with camera production because of the PlayStation needing certain parts on their motherboards, etc. So there was a bit of a so they were actually lending a few things of the camera production side.
Wow.
To get this done. This is what I heard, but it looks like a very interesting machine. Apparently, it can stand upright, or it can be put down to its side. Like it can lie down, so you can sort of have it sideways
Yep.
or horizontal.
And they all do that. All the older models, they've always done that, lay down or.
Yeah.
It's very slick and futuristic. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty good.
I demand a full black version of any game console.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel. It's just from what I can understand, there's only two versions coming out. One is actually smaller than the other. So the one that's web-based and hasn't got a hard drive in it is slightly smaller. So that's all I know. There's only small stuff filtering through for it. But it's been announced by Sony, so this is not just a rumor, it's actually fact. So yeah, interesting machine for gamers for sure. Yeah. And Michelle says, "Oh, the boys will love it," you know. Michelle has got 2 boys that are gonna just jump on this. Smart move from Brett. Now Sony will send you one for free. Oh yes, that would be the day.
I doubt, but I mean, on over 50, I had my gaming days all over, mate. So.
Yeah, it's you know, if Sony would send him a new A7R4, he would just jump around like a baby in the cradle.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? But no.
Like all normal kids, perfect ability to lie down horizontal at any time. Yeah, and it's so it's you guys can now see what everyone else has been talking about, and this was a thing that was a long time coming. There was a lot of talk about this PlayStation.
Yeah. And a lot of other things too that's a long time coming. Just waiting. Yeah.
So okay. How about if I'm just going to go by our schedule, Brett, and just stick to it. So, I'm just going to talk about the travel, right?
Yep.
So, we have got, obviously, we are being let out a fair bit, and we can now start thinking about traveling and just... sorry, I think I've got this a little bit too far down. I've just got to sort our screen here. Sorry about that, guys. There you go. I'll shrink us down a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about was the thought pattern that people should think about when they're thinking travel, to maybe think about going to places that they haven't been yet, or places that people will not be thinking about going to. Reason being is that I think a lot of the major places that we go to have been shot to death, and there's just been not much love given to pretty well unknown countries, or like San Francisco. You'll see there's the tram up the top there on the left hand side in the picture, and the picture on the left hand bottom was actually taken in Sydney, would you believe? And obviously the iceberg, Brett. I had to have a picture of an iceberg. So you can see all the photographers on the ship, they're taking pictures of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So there's Scott saying, "Hi, Mark."
Hey,
Michelle,
Scott.
Okay, so here's Scott Dan saying hello. How you going,
Sorry,
Scott? How are you?
Mark, I had to leave, and
No, that's not a problem.
my boy was saying good night. So, yep. Sorry about it, but I'm back.
And Daniel says, what would be cool if we could that GPU power connected to our laptops for Final Cut Pro photo work. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's connectable, if it actually use that as a computer. That would be interesting. Not sure. And Scott also says hi to Daniel. Lawrence says hi, Scott. And Riss booked another way in July to spend 2 days exploring and photography. Yeah, so it's just coming to the sharp end now where people are. Yeah, we are going to be opening up borders sooner than later. Australia is already talking with New Zealand about doing international flights back and forth.
Yeah, travel bubble.
Yeah, the travel bubble.
Yeah,
That's what everyone is talking about. Perfect timing to go out, get shots of obscure Aussie locations. Yeah, exactly. So we can explore a little bit better, and we should maybe test out our waters in other places. Daniel
that
said,
would have been really nice to go to Daniel. Obviously, restrictions didn't allow you to go to Iceland. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's delayed, right, Daniel? That's what it is. It's just delayed. I would love to join you. Iceland and Norway would be something that I would absolutely want to do. But maybe in the summertime.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly looking for a few things to go and travel, probably down to Tasmania, to do some waterfalls. That's on my bucket list, and up north too, Cairns. I want to go up there too as well. So see what happens, and if we get enough paid work to fund me, and But anyhow.
Daniel says, it's just been totally cancelled, Daniel. Oh my God. I'm sure. Yeah. Sure, it's sure delayed. Well, look, I mean, you can't do that. You just rebook another trip, or I'm sure you're going to get there eventually, Daniel.
Yeah.
Surely. Springbrook and Fireplace. Can't wait. A week away from work. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Riss has been in the medical, so I'm sure she wants some holidays after all this.
Yes,
And Lauren says, I booked 6 weeks off work over December, January. Well, lucky. Look, I mean, people are, everyone is already making plans, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Month off in October. Okay, now, when I mentioned going to new places and looking at new places, you will see in this image here, or these two images, Brett, I already did a bit of research. And what photographers usually do, they actually go to a famous lookout, and then you'll see what's actually happening in that smaller image, only to maybe a few steps away, and there is a much better outlook, and you're by yourself. People need to investigate where to go to and have a look around.
Yep. And I can relate to that, because when we went to Mullaney, and we went to One Tree Hill, and all the lookouts, they're all like that. And I was surprised that there was obviously a lot of tourists, but there was other people actually doing what I was doing, actually going there to take photos with a big lens. So obviously any of those famous places that you see on Facebook and that, people just don't see behind the scenes and see how many other photographers actually taking the same shot.
Yeah, true. So I mean, sometimes standing with the horde, and instead of having a look around, it's really rewarding when you can actually move away from that lot, because everyone is taking the same picture as you.
Yep. And every time I've been to iconic places, I try to do the same thing. I try to go off the unbeaten track a bit and get something different, not at the same location everybody else is taking the shots. It's just depending on the nature of the place. If it's safe to do so, you don't want to be going off dangerous areas that it's not safe to do so. But I always like to try and get something different into what you normally see time after time that you see on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, just the other day, I was actually doing a walk around in the CBD with my friend Craig, and we decided to go to an off-beaten track that I haven't been on, and it's, which was interesting to me. So
Yeah.
it's always worthwhile just bushwhacking away.
Yeah.
Daniel, always take pictures of the picture takers. Yeah. And there you go. Yeah. Okay. How about if I move on to the next story then? Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up lens ratios, Brett.
Lens ratios, yeah.
Yeah. And Risk just wrote 5 Nights Gold Coast due to racing being cancelled. We use it as a holiday and photograph at beach and markets. Yeah, and don't forget to photograph people. You know, a lot of people do not take pictures of people enough, I think, in my mind. So what I wanted to talk about again is lens ratio. Now, a lot of people might have seen this on their lenses, but they never really took much. Well, they didn't sort of read it properly, and sometimes they think that it's a macro lens because it says 1 to 2.
Yeah.
But everyone has gone through that mistake, and you'll see that it is interesting that the lens will tell you all its information on the front of the barrel.
And this is something that hasn't been really talked about, I've noticed. So this is which is why we're bringing it up tonight. So yeah.
All our screens are actually hanging over the comments. I'm just trying to fix that up at the moment.
Oh, right now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So as you can see there, like it will give you all the information right there on the barrel. So your focal range, 17 to 35 in this case on this lens. Lens ratio is, or what it is, it's actually a 2.8 to f4. And you also see that the lens ring size is there. So your diameter for a filter, if you want to screw a filter on, is 77mm in this instance again. So yeah, I mean, it's lenses always give you a lot of information, and even the lens caps sometimes do that as well. I haven't got a lens cap here, but when you look on the inside of a lens cap, it will actually give you the diameter of the filter as well.
I don't know if you can see it on my camera. I don't think I've got enough light, but yeah, there, and you'll see up there, and yeah, that's the inside, and that's your flat size of your lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one there is off the 135. So that was what? 82.
Yeah. Or lens hoods. Well, yeah, the lens hoods have got it as well. But no, they don't. It's only got the...
No, not on the lens hood. No, it's different.
On the lens hood, it's actually got a number on it, right, Brett? So if I switch over my camera, you'll see there's this number on there. It might be mirror wrong, but it's that's on the 24mm 1.4.
Yeah, but there's no size because on the hood itself, it's on the outside of your thread where the lens cap.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
there's the lens cap there, it sits there, and then on the outside that's where the hood sits on. So there's no diameter of that. So if you lose a hood of a certain lens, and like Mark showed you before, that's the order, the part number.
That's the actual part number for the lens hood. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. You would think sometimes that they would actually put a diameter on it, but it might confuse people having it on there.
Yeah. So, but I hope that helps everybody else out to what to look for if they got the hood, or I don't think there was actually a part number on these lens caps. They're all the same. It's just a different size.
Yeah.
So,
And there's also generic ones, isn't there? Like you don't need to necessarily buy a Sony one if you need a replacement. I mean, you can also have a look around for generic ones as well. But it is what it is.
Well, like Rick said, nothing's easy, but yeah, that's just the way, dude.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, now we are actually coming into some interesting conversation. And I'm sure people are going to have a lot of say about this. We've been, I think a lot of people have been sort of maybe wondering what I was talking about when I was talking about that would talk about tramboning lenses. If anyone doesn't know what a tramboning lens is, it's basically a lens that as you zoom in, the outer part of the lens will physically come out of the barrel to focus or get closer. So the closer you go to a 180 or 200 mil, the more it will actually barrel roll out. And so these are the two latest lenses from Tamron, and I think there's another one that's actually coming still, isn't there? If anyone knows. Yeah, the tromboning.
Yeah, there's a Sigma lens, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So if no one knows about tromboning lenses, I can show everyone maybe the tromboning lenses that Sony has. These are two of the tromboning lenses that Sony has. One is the 24-70 GM, and the other one is the 100-400 GM EF or FE FE mount. Now the reason why I wanted to talk about this is I ran into an issue a while back when I owned a tromboning lens. And it was on the beach. Now, what we've got here in Australia is silicon sand. We are girthed by silicon sand on the beaches, and the sand really gets ground down by the beaches so much so that it turns into dust. So if you get the lightest breeze of going over the surface of the sand, it actually just blows up and it just becomes microscopic dust. Now, when you work with tramboning a lens on the beach, what will happen then? It actually gets caught in between the actual the tramboning part, so the actual the barrel will actually roll in and out.
Yeah.
And in the groove where it's rolling in and out, you will actually have that sand digging its way into the actual lens, and then you'll get a crunchy feeling when you are turning the ring, the zoom. Now, the other problem that I was actually experiencing was also not with this particular lens, but I actually had a Sigma 150 to 600 tramboning lens, and it when it was all the way out, to get it back in, you could actually feel that the tramboning part, the extending part, was actually leaning on an angle a little bit, and it was putting weight on the bottom of the lens. So when you would actually turn the zoom to zoom it back in, it would basically just feel heavier and harder to actually zoom in. So you would I would always lift it up and hold it vertically and then turn it in, because it was just a lot easier to turn it in that way. And also the biggest problem with zoom lenses mainly is also that the super zoom lenses have got f-stops that vary. They've got variable apertures.
Yeah.
So I that's why I personally like primes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the 16 to 35 GM is a tromboning lens as well.
Yeah, which is I got in my hand. Look, on another person that's loves the internal focusing, or not just internal focusing, but zoom feature. But yeah, 16 does go in and out. But I must say, this particular one, because this is my go-to 1635. I've been on beaches, I've been in dusty areas and that, and I really, it's one, I never had a problem because it's one of this one particularly doesn't trombone out as much. It's only probably about, 15 mil?
Yeah.
But with the other ones, you see they will go out much longer out here. That's where you're going to have the problem. Because I find when you do turn that there, I mean, I can really just easily turn that so easy by 2 fingers. But if you look at the primes, you can just get 1 finger and turn and zoom out with 1 finger. But there are others, the lenses I have tried, that they trombone it way out here.
Yeah, way out.
And that's where you find that's where it's going to get hard and a lot stiffer too. But I haven't really had an issue with this one, but I still prefer an internal one than an extension of a zooming in and out to your different focal lengths.
So this is a very interesting segue into my next images. So we had Daniel here is saying use prime lenses in that case, or higher pixel count, which is one solution. And then obviously Sharon wants to know what the solution to all this is. And Scott, I haven't had any problem yet with my tromboning lenses, but there's not much sand around where I live. I've seen. If you do professional work and you got to get the shoot done and you got a collaboration happening, etc., and you got to get the shots. I mean, you don't really care too much about your gear. You just go in there and get the job done.
Yeah.
So
look,
that's
the only other
the biggest
solution
issue. As a professional, you make your lenses work probably twice as hard as to people that just do this as a hobby.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of, if you're in a situation that you do have a trombone lens and you're at a beach and you've got a gale blowing and the sand is just flying up and kicking up, and that, the only thing I can suggest, if you get a bag, one of those plastic bags, and cut a hole and then wrap it around the actual part and use it on that, when you're zooming in and out.
Like,
That's the only
you could use a lacquer band, punch a hole through your plastic bags and do all that sort of stuff. But in my case, it's made me feel that I need to move away from tromboning lenses, and there are several, or there are other solutions, and I'll just move that over to this picture now. And you will see here that Sony, for instance, Sony. I'm not saying that it's just Sony centric. That has got solutions for tromboning lenses, and these are all different variables of and other sizes, obviously. But you will see this is the left-hand top is the 200 to 600 mil G lens. Then you've got the 70 to 200 GM lens, the 2.8, and on the bottom you've got the 70 to 200 G lens, the f.4.
G, yep.
Sorry, f4, not 0.4.
Yep.
That would be amazing. We spoke about that last week.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
and so recent prime and digital zoom.
It's funny you came up with this because there was a guy he bought a Tamron. What was it?
It was a Tamron 28 to 70, I believe.
Yeah, he brought it up on the Sony Australian group, and he bought it off second hand. And when he got it, he found that when he was extending the lens out, it was making all these crunchy sounds and grinding, and and then he put a video up, and you could actually see the little white specks coming out when the lens extends. So it would have been very not very impressive when you receive something like that secondhand to find out it's full of sand. Whether it was deliberately done or the last person that owned it was not careful and didn't clean it.
Well, I just find it a bit weird that you could actually still see the sand on the outside.
Yeah,
that was a bit strange. I mean, if someone would be selling something like that, faulty or with the sand grinding along inside, would you at least like clean up the outside to make it look like you didn't leave sand behind?
The only thing I saw was the video. He didn't show any photos how it came, and so I don't even know where he bought it from. Did he buy it on eBay?
I thought it was a bit strange that you could see all the sand and everything. It just looked messy. I mean, in general, when I sell something, I make sure it's all clean and it's all working in working condition. Yeah. And it looks like almost like a brand new lens, because I do tend to look after my lens, and they look like brand new all the time. But I've got certain ways of cleaning my gear that only Brett knows. Well, it's called silicone spray, and I'm not going to say any more about that.
And that's amazing stuff. That's still...
It's quite amazing.
Still to this day, this hood, it's still easy. Yeah. It hasn't bound up.
It doesn't. It's not locking up or anything anymore. Silicone is really good. Silicone spray is really good because it's non-locking up. And it's not oiling, so stuff doesn't actually cling to.
Yeah, well, that silicone that you're using, it's not oily.
It's not oily.
Dry touch. It's like soap in a way too, but it's not collecting dust or anything like W40 and stuff like that. Yeah,
W40 works in the same way as a silicone spray.
Yeah,
but W40 is oil based, and
it'll pick up
not.
dust.
I would never ever spray any liquids onto your lens directly. You need a cloth, and that's look. That brings the black back into the rubber as well, into the actual rubber. If anyone ever had a problem with their rubber going grey and it looking
like mine does,
just spray that onto a cloth and then rub the rubber with the cloth. So you don't want to have a wet cloth.
If you got to clean lenses and all that, use a Microsoft cloth or a lens cloth or something. You can go as far as using lens cleaning for the glasses on it as well. Or you just get a damp cloth, and if you something dirty, you can use a damp cloth and then dry it off.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
don't use
It's a good idea.
other chemicals like 4W40, WD, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I sometimes cringe when I see videos of landscape photographers, etc., and they got just one cloth. They cover their lenses in the rain with the cloth, and then they wipe their their cameras with the cloth, and then they wipe their outside barrels with the cloth, and then afterwards you see them using the same cloth again, and they're cleaning out their lenses. So please don't do that. always have
Daniel
a
said, don't put your hair in there. It won't fix the grey problems.
yeah.
But anyhow,
Yeah, so always have a special cleaner for your lens, for your glass, because the glass is something completely separate.
yeah.
And don't forget, it's actually got a layer of film on your glass, and that can actually be rubbed off and destroyed as well. So just be very aware that.
That was being tested from DPV review.
I never saw that video, but I did see the scratches on his lenses.
Yeah, and the fluorine coating and stuff like that they put on lenses.
Yeah.
It's very, very, it's not not easy to rub off, and I don't think it will. It'll generally last the life of the lens. But, because they usually fluorine coating is actually baked in to the surface of the glass,
and yet it's recommended to use proper glass cleaning, and everyone should know that. Whoever owns cameras, I'm probably not going to dwell on this too much. Now, Daniel said Sony covers sand issues over their extended warranty. By the way,
okay.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know here about Australia and that, but
it's interesting.
yeah.
And this for video, maybe you can do digital zoom for photo, use higher pixel count bodies if you need it. Yeah, it's just something that I personally veer away from it. Brett knows that I've got mainly prime lenses until I actually go into ultra zooms. So it's something I'm well aware of.
Yep. Okay. Anybody
what are
else?
You selling, Mark? I'm not selling anything right now. I'm pretty happy with what I've got. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Mark?
Oh, sorry. I am not. I should mention this, Brett. Too. I am not affiliated with Sony, and I'm not here to sell anyone a lens or a camera. I'm just trying to make people understand that tram-burning lenses have got some issues. I mean, they're very good as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tamron is great, and Tamron has got amazing glass out there, and we are just very. I'm very happy that we've got choices, and for the price of what Tamron has got, it's just great. We've got a great selection of lenses these days.
Well, with the Sony, you got so many choices now that you can add other lenses onto the Sony cameras. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see there's already other third parties and that out there too for other people that who need to don't have the option on a budget maybe, and that so forth. So there are other options out there. So for any camera, for the matter. So yeah.
Yeah. So I am. Oh, look. Let's have a couple of fun pictures here. By the way, Brett, I'm just gonna. This is non-related, but seeing that traveling is starting up, and you might actually get to see some people holding up signs at the airport. And I thought just having a look at these pictures were just I was laughing, and I thought I might just show them for people. So this guy is looking for the guy who knocked up his sister. And what else have we got here? I know you cheated, and he's holding that sign up with a fairly. He's not very happy about what he's holding up there for sure. And this one here, Jimmy, it's your baby. You can't ignore me forever. What's the other one? So don't worry, Daddy. I took good care of Mummy, but now it's your turn. She's a lot of work. Yeah. Okay, so that's that segues us into the show and tell part. Brett, have you got
Yes.
something that we are going to be talking about today?
Yeah. Now today, I'm going to start off the road mode pod. I've got it up here. Pod mic for the Daniel to see, because he knows what. Then he'll know what I'm getting and see what he was discussing before.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show you 2 images I took from Mulaney on the weekend, and then I might go into 4 more photos done in studio and how I did it.
Sounds good, Brett.
Okay.
I'll pass it over to you now, so I'll do a screen.
Okay, I'm going to share.
Into your mode.
And
there you go.
Should have up now.
There you go.
Right. So Daniel, you can probably see what I'm sharing right now is the Rode pod mic. So,
how many times did you buy that? It says buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now.
Yeah. No, that's just where you can find a dealer, a Rode dealer. So from DigiDirect, Video Guys Australia, Videocraft, DJ City, and you can buy from Factory Sound Sales. It's actually quite a very small but very heavy mic. It's not plastic or anything, so it's around about nearly 2 kg, I think it is. 973 grams, so it's nearly a kilo for this little thing. So but it doesn't need phantom power, so and it's a lot of been talked about this mic, that it's actually competing with the other mics that less nearly up to $500.
Yeah, it's a fantastic bargain actually for people.
So those mics, the bigger ones, the dynamic ones, and the condensers and that need phantom power. So we looked into this one, and it's been out for a fair while now, but it's actually compatible with your Procaster. You got Procaster, or you got the?
I got the NT1, and I've got the wireless set as well. You know, the small units.
But anyhow, I just thought I'd show people with what mic I'm going to use. At the moment, I'm just using a $25 mic. It's very, not very great.
We're just becoming real pros, you know, when it comes to these sort of shows now. We're just...
But so I'll hopefully be getting this the mic by Thursday and for our next show. So be interesting. Anyhow, we'll get out of this one and we'll go to now. This is the shot that I posted in the groups, all across the groups. Sony Australia, the U group that we joined, which is the international something.
Yeah, that's a nice shot there, Brett.
Yeah. So now this was actually shot from the 70 to 200 G f4 lens, and now the reason why I shot this with that lens, because if I use the wide lens, and I'm actually standing behind a fence, and that fence line is around about 200 meters back.
I'm just gonna.
So this tree, what they call one tree hill, and the property that's sitting on it is actually private property. You just can't go on there, and even though every time I go there, I'm always seeing someone standing next to it and doing selfies and blah blah blah. But there is signs at the fence line. It's private property. Do not enter. So unless you know the people that and you've asked them, can you go up to the tree and take shots and that's fine. But this is another problem where you go to iconic. This is an iconic location, and this is what we were talking about earlier before when you were showing all those photographers all lined up doing the same photo. This is what happens here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes going off the beaten track and having the correct lenses with you as well helps a lot too, there, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
but the reason why I shot this because if I shot on the 1635, I would have too much foreground, and I would have to heavily crop it, and then it just it wouldn't look right because the tree and the mountains in the background would just fade off into nothing, basically. But
I'm just trying to move us around so you can actually see the whole image.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's me.
Okay.
That's me doing this.
So, but there were people on the day. There was 2 Chinese, a male and a female, right next to the tree. They're just out of the right-hand side. We've asked them could they move so I can get one shot without them in it. The next shot I will show you with them actually taking photos of one another. It's pretty good actually. I quite like it. But anyhow, so this was the 7200 and
7200 f4. Yes.
Yeah, I think
it's still a very relevant lens, isn't it? Just
yeah.
That image.
So this was actually where's my settings? F11. So yeah.
F11.
Yeah. So I choose F11 so you can still get this tree in the foreground, and then reasonably depth of field to get the mountain and so forth. But you can see there's a lot of great detail, especially in the green area with all the plantations down in here, and and plenty of detail. If you zoomed in there, you will see a lot of great detail, especially in there. So I don't know if you can actually see that when it comes up on the screen, but on my 4K monitor, everything is really surreal and so detailed.
I love how you. This is a very paintery kind of picture.
Yeah, I kept the colours pretty much how it looked on the day.
Yeah.
And the composition as well. I moved the tree on the left-hand side for one very reason, and that's because there was people on the right-hand side of the frame. So I had to think of recomposing the shot. I could have moved over to the right, but I couldn't do that because the people were in the shot. So basically, I had to think about, am I going to have this to work with the tree on the left-hand side? I've been told other people picked up, they said they liked it on the left-hand side because the mountain on the right-hand side sort of balances that.
Yeah, balances it out. I mean, you're also lucky you got that that cloud above the mountain there, with the dark edging. And that really does a good job on actually balance. And it's got the same shape as a tree almost, so it's great balance.
And
well
the highlight
done, Brett. I like that picture.
So, but anyhow, and I think the next one was here, the couple. And here I'm still zoomed out. I think I was shooting.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
Also, did they climb over a fence or something, or how did they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, that trespassed! Oh my god.
Yeah. Actually, in that last shot, the first shot I just showed you, the bag, it was actually sitting over here in the first shot. I had to clone that out because they left it there, and I thought, they moved, but they didn't take the bag.
Yeah. So how do you feel about cloning, Brett?
Look, I don't mind doing that, because it was, obviously I couldn't do anything about it, and they weren't going to get the bag. So, but the bag is not nature. It's not part of the scene, is it?
Exactly.
It's something that's just been put there. If it was part of the scene, depending on what it is, and if it really ruined the shot, I probably would. But you got to think about it too. If you're moving something that is naturally there and it's always been there, and you're entering a competition and if you remove something, you must really tell the full story. Because some competitions, when they find that you remove something or add something into an image physically, I'm not talking about changing colours or whatever, but when you're actually adding something in, they need to know. So what you see on this image is what I got. So, and you can see the guy, you can understand he's actually taken a photo of her. She's posing next to the tree and so forth. So I did a bit of dodge and burn and colour grading and everything in this as well, and gave it a good, nice glow. And you can see the glow resting on them too, and especially in her. So, so there was a bit of editing in this one more than the other one. But the other one, it was more natural and sort of gave a bit more vibe and a bit more glow in this shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a shame he's got his back turned. If he would have turned a little bit more to the side, maybe, it would have been a really good catch.
But then again, if he was sort of facing side on the more, she would have been facing more side on too.
Yeah, true.
But
sometimes we can't win the battle, right?
But also I quite like the shot because how with the shooting on the 7200, you're actually enlarging the foreground and compressing the background up more. On the shot.
I pretty much like how you got the tree, you got the front in focus, and it almost looks like the background almost looks like a wallpaper, doesn't it? Like it's like they're sitting in the room or something like that, and it's in the studio or something.
I did actually shoot that at f4. So there's your answer. If I shot that with the 135, it might be a bit more blurred out in the background, but because the distance I'm at, it wasn't close enough to actually totally sort of blur that. But I didn't want that more blurred out in the background. I want to see the scenery behind them too as well. So,
I just asked if were these shots taken during golden hour?
Yeah, this was about nearly 4 o'clock. 4:30 I think. I was running out of daylight. So I had to get to the next location, and sadly I missed the next location because I took a wrong turn. So, you only got so much. Everybody knows it's sunrise, sunset. You've only got about 30 minutes, and when that sun starts getting over the edge and the horizon, it goes really, really quick. So
like Sharon was saying, it's a bit. The image looks a bit surrealistic.
Yeah.
That's the word. That's the right word.
And because when also you look at it too, it was, if you look at the atmosphere and the shot before, you do see there's a lot of haze in there too, atmospheric and all that as well. That's part of it, and that was all natural. All I've done in the foreground is just gave it a glow. So it's still, the light's been enhanced a bit, but not oversaturated and anything. So if you look at the top of the tree, there's a nice highlight in the tree and everything, and but doing that, it's giving you the depth of the image, and so forth. So
So when this couple went there, were you already shooting? And did they say, "Are you
they
okay?
were already there, and I just rocked up, and they saw me shooting over there. But my partner Annette yelled out, "Excuse me, can you move?"
I can just imagine. I mean, it's just,
and they did, which is really good. But but they sort of kept creeping back in, and I thought, well, bugger it, I got more opportunity. These guys might be travelling around Australia, so, but I can always go there any given weekend. So, but yeah, it didn't really worry me. But some tourists don't realise that if you're shooting a scene like that, well, they won't get out of your way. So you've got to yell at them and to be fair to other people that you're trying to get. And there were other people there too trying to get shots that afternoon too. So yeah.
So there you go. So Bill was saying maybe they wanted you wanted them to be in the shot, so you can take portraits of them.
Yeah. But anyhow, just quickly, 4 images I want to show before we get out.
Yeah, let's do some quick ones because I've still got an edit to do.
Yeah. There's no editing this stage. Maybe next week. This one here was done in studio. And it looks like it was done in a house. So, window pane and so forth, and a rainy day. And this girl was wearing an army uniform. You can barely see it because this is the dark one. But yeah, you just buy those Venetian blinds and just sit it up on a boom arm and put it up there and put a bead of what do you call it, the plastic acrylic, and lock it up there too, spray water, shoot a light through it, and then you get this natural lighting. And you can do, this is what I love doing in the studio. I love making up a prop in a set and just recreate something in the studio, instead of having...
as far as I'm always concerned, I always talk with people about a photographer is almost like a magician, and he always pulls out another rabbit out of a hat. We always have to come up with ideas to make you believe that we are taking a picture of something that is actually not even there. Yeah, so we shoot smoke and screens sometimes.
I do have photos behind the scene. I think I did, when I did this shot, I did actually post in the Brisbane Alpha group how this was shot and showing the lighting. There's a light in front of below looking up and shooting up, and a light behind her as well.
Guess who just asked you a question there?
What? Oh, Bill. I was going to get to Bill, so I will get to that. Now, this is the black and white. Another black and white from a different. And this is a mixture of editing and Lightroom, and then I run it through Nick software to get this film edge around it and so forth. So and this one's a bit softer, and there's no glass. This was like a test shot to see what the effects. This was more about getting the light shadows from the through as well. So
it's beautiful.
Nice,
Yeah, you capture that really nice in a good light.
Yeah. So when
how long did that setup roughly take you to? I mean, I know you had to go out and buy the shutters, right? You were telling me about this a while back.
Yeah. Well, the shutters were what $25 or something like that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You just put it up on your boom arm and set it up, and you just had, once you got it all set up, then you got to have to find your view, and you got to work out your view, what angle and height and everything, and how is that? Because if you start using really wide lenses, this virtual thin blind will actually sort of get distorted, don't look right, So you sort of got to correct all that.
Yeah, and so there is Daniel saying real world photoshopping, and you're right, Daniel. I mean, this is and you're looking at these. This is done in camera. This is no Photoshop. It's all done in camera. Yeah.
So this is what I like to do. I like to get things done in camera as much as I can, and not do a photo. This is the color version. Same sort of shot. Just giving you the difference between the black and white. The black and white is actually stunning. But a lot of people do like color. I love color as well. So that's the color version of that one, and one more. Oh, I lost the other one. So
speaks more in black and white, version. Sharon was saying.
Yeah. So there was a color version of the other one right at the beginning, black and white. So.
Fantastic, Fred.
Okay, so I
So
can
it's
answer.
just a bit of a it's again, you know, like people are still stuck at home and they don't know what to shoot. I mean, sometimes you gotta just buy a few crops, and before you know it, you've got days and days of shooting that you can do.
Yeah.
with them.
Yep. So I'll stop sharing there.
Okay, I'll bring us back into our usual sort of look. So, guys, has anyone got any questions?
Yeah,
that,
I was just going to go
they
back
want
to
ask?
Bill's question.
Yep.
Oh, your favourite go-to like modifiers and studio work. Well, once again, it depends on the job and what you need. Obviously, a lot of soft boxes and those sort of things are more common. But then sometimes you want hard lighting. You might want to just a reflector, a 7-inch reflector, or there's another modifier I got in here that's called a power umbrella, and it's a 72-inch power. It's huge. It's like
that's the difference between location shooting
Yeah,
and studio
yeah.
shooting.
yep. And
we
this thing-
can afford bigger
This
modifiers.
parabolic one, this parabolic one, it's so huge you can stand in front of it and you do not cast any lighting on your subject. It just, the light just wraps around you and goes straight ahead and hits your subject and so forth. But like I said, it depends on your, the situation. There's really no one modifier you stick to all the time, depending.
Don't forget, guys. I mean, you for photographers, sometimes it's not even in studio work. It's sometimes not even modifiers. What we are looking for in studio, most of the times, it depends on what you're shooting, obviously, but just even muted light, like trying to get daylight or natural light into the studio is one thing, and also maybe even using scrims and flat modifiers that actually soften the light. So we're looking for soft light usually, but it depends on what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, studio shooting is all about creating
Controlling light.
And it's all about light. We can control the light and modify it and the way we want it. We want it daylight, or we want it dark, or whatever. And you need to know how to control light.
So there you go. Daniel was thinking that you wanted to make the talent scared, looking for a stalker. Yeah, I mean it's great if a picture talks to you and it makes you think about what is this person thinking right now, or is this picture telling me a story, and sometimes conveying that is really important.
Well, those studio ones, they were really about the war era, and the girls are waiting for their husbands, boyfriends coming home for war. That was the story behind that. So, And
Bill was just saying that a 72-inch umbrella would be pretty hard to use. So I've got strip boxes, and when you're thinking about they're rectangular boxes, very long and very narrow. So stuff like that is really good if you've got low ceilings, by the way, Bill. And you can actually hang them up on the ceiling, or shoot or use C-stands to hold them up, and you can get them closer to the ceiling than what you can do with a normal umbrella modifier or something like that. So and then you can also use bounced light, so you can bounce light back from a reflector, some kind of reflecting dish or something like that, and then shoot that at
there's endless.
It's an endless amount of modifiers that you can think of, even beauty dishes, etc. You can put a sock on a beauty dish to soften the beauty dish as well too, Bill. And not being able to give you a correct answer is because we don't know what your talent or what you are shooting. So in the end of a day, you go by the mood. I mean, it also depends on what clothes they're wearing. If they're wearing dark clothes, reflective clothes, all that sort of stuff comes into it. So usually what we do for fashion, we get told, or we get to see the clothes and we get to see the model beforehand, so we can start imagining what the shoot is going to be like, or what the shoot is going to entail, what this model will look like. And then we put our thinking cap on, and then we think about modifiers and what kind of light we actually want on this model. Usually we're dealing with, clean skin models, etc. And so sorry about the
in most situations, most situations, a lot of people will have put a storyboard up, and they'll take a collection of images of a website or Google and that, and then they go, okay, here we've got so many images from this is the style and this is the look that we sort of wanting to get, and they go through them, and then you work out the lighting, the clothing and everything and stuff like that, and you work from that storyboard. And then and other places, and what you were saying before,
absolutely. It is just you work on this on the day. That's why when you see studios that you will see light modifiers and everything, there's maybe 50, 60 kind of ways of how to light something, or even have bounced lights, or really mood the light. And you can actually, if you got modifiers that are very harsh, if you turn them to the side of the model, and so you actually just get the rim of the dish or the modifier to actually hit the model, that is your softest light. That's your best light. So you can forget about the 90% of the actual modifier, but that rim light coming off that modifier is usually where you're paying the most money for. What you're paying the most money for, that softness.
And you're probably talking about feathering there.
Feathering, absolutely.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And that's another big trick that I've just given away, guys. Feathering is usually done by high-end photographers, and so a lot of people don't understand and scratch their head how that shot was taken, how it was done. And feathering is just one of those beautiful lights that you can get. Now, this is a good segue, as we are talking about movie kind of images. I have promised everyone that I would do a movie editing 101, and I've actually got a movie here, Brett. And
we go to that
show
now.
That I will show one more picture here that Daniel might love. This one here. So Daniel, this is my this is my dream boat. So this is a nice big table with a mixing studio, and so this could be the way of the future. At least this is how Black Magic sees it, So just to give you an idea of what is out there and what is possible. I mean, obviously this is a mock-up. This is I don't think it's real. I think it's just a mock-up. But if this is real, I mean, I'm sure this person is having a lot of fun controlling it all.
That would be nice.
I
can just see you have something like that in a couple of years' time.
I don't know if I'll ever take it that far, but Daniel's saying, weird as Dutch idea, wonder if in the future we could use projectors to aim at a scene and change effects by putting different images effects in. I was looking at that, Daniel. I was playing with my projector, but what you need is a short throw projector that actually doesn't so the talent doesn't cast a shadow onto the image. But I'm sure that if you got a short throw projector could work. Yeah. absolutely. And I've seen other photographers. I don't know if you've seen this, Brett, but there's a lot of experimenting going on with rear projection cameras. So you got rear projection projectors, I should say.
Yeah.
That project an image onto the wall or onto a film, and then the talent stands, in front of it, and so you can any picture imaginable on your computer, you can actually throw that up.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. But then you're battling the light that actually gets thrown through the light, so it's a bit of a But I've seen that being done.
I've seen where we've had singers on stage and they were singing with Wendy Houston actually being hologrammed, and I don't know how they did it, but it was almost like she was actually there.
Yeah,
singing
like a 3D projection almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
And interacting with her, and it's quite amazing what they can do these days. So yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel was saying there are short throw projectors that actually do, you set it up 10 inches away from the wall and it gives you 110 inches of image, which is quite amazing. There are laser operated.
That's
and
right.
DeLorean was shot similar to that. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, Daniel.
Yeah, so it's got even able to change the parallax as the camera moves.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Never heard someone do that before. Yeah, if you research it, you'll find there's a that's been tried out.
Yep.
Even able to change the parallax of the camera moves. Yeah. Just, once you start experimenting like a mad crazy person. What is that? What is that professor called on Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, I'm just going to put us back in for a split second, and then get back into the video. So guys, I've got a video presentation here for you. This is a edit of that movie that I put up on Facebook. If no one has seen it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the edit movie of how it's done, and then afterwards I'll just show you the clip. The clip goes for about 1.5 minutes, and the video edit goes for about 5 minutes. So let's just run it. What do you think, Brett?
Yep.
Okay guys, so here we go. So once you're in your editing program, in this case it's iMovie, you'll see that the timeline has already been filled by me somewhat, and you can see there are actually segments of the movie already in there, and I've already overlaid this with some sound. Now, in the way you import things into iMovie, and this goes for a lot of other editing programs, obviously, they are just slightly in a different position maybe, but you'll just see that you can import into your project all sorts of files, and then you can just, you will be able to select, and you can actually just find your correct folder where your items are in, music, etc., and you will insert all this into this section here. And as you can see, I've already done a bit here, and I'll just play a little bit back, and so you can see a little bit of it. Okay, so the bird singing there, and in the background, all that sound has been inserted, so this actually did not come with the video. Okay, and then this translates into a waterfall and to the model on the road. Sounds are to be found in
You don't necessarily need to import them into iMovie because they already are there. Where you click on audio up the top, and you'll see there is a plethora of material that you can actually use. In here you can also see that I've got a song which I will actually insert now. So what you do is you click on it and you'll see a yellow box. You will then simply drag that into the timeline, and as long as you're holding the mouse down and you can actually control this, there is no problem in maybe moving the slider. But let's just insert it here, and you'll see it's actually been overlaid over the skateboard skid. You will also see here there are some boxes in between. Now these are inserted during editing, and they are called transitions. Transitions are found here when you click up the top, and every editing program again will have it in separate places. But I'll show you what this looks like without a transition, and then I'll show you what it looks like with a transition. So there, so I want to actually maybe have a fade to black, drag it down in between the video files, and then you're back to doing what you're doing best. So that makes a lot more sense. And you will see there's an abrupt finish. Now again, you can actually use a transition to change all that, and you can move that into position. So let's we could just use an outro somehow. So maybe a fade to white, and there you go. And just to finish it off, I just want to quickly show everyone that you can add titles. So if you click up the top, there's titles, and you can just put in. Again, you can scrub over this and see what it does. Let's just find a quick title. Let's just grab this one here. So once this is inserted, you'll see that it actually comes up in the box up the top, where you can change font style. You can change the, of course, you can type something in. So something like "Life is beautiful." For instance, you know, this is only just something that just came made, and basically let's just play this back. What this looks like. You can always insert something in the front of this, and that can be done just by dragging something to the front. And there again, you put in a title. Something like, and so it began. There we go. So there we have got a completed movie, and it didn't really take that long. So in order to edit and cut your footages, okay, so you basically highlight this, make sure it's highlighted in yellow, and there you go. You can actually drag this along now. In order to remove the first section of a audio clip or video clip, you basically grab the beginning of it. If you want to cut something in the center, say you got something in the center, if it doesn't matter if it's audio or video, you can do that on both. Let's just do that to the, say we do this to the video, and you basically find exactly the point where you want to do the cutting away, and basically you click on split clip. What it does, it actually now it has created 2 parts of the one video, and if there is a midsection, like I want to get rid of, say, this part here, from this line to this line, so I basically tell it to split the clip again, and now this part here I can just simply delete. So I hit the delete button and that is gone. Now if you hit the Command Z or the undo button, you will see it all just returning again. So if you make a mistake, you just go back a few steps and start again, and you are basically done. Now to upload, you simply find the export button, which is in this case in iMovie, it is up the top right hand corner. You click on it and you'll see this drop in.
Okay, so here we are again. Hope everyone sort of got the gist of all that. It's obviously just a 101 introduction into movie, and in this case I used iMovie for Apple, but in general, all that cutting that you saw and all the scrubbing along the video, and you could actually hear that scraping sound and the fast moving sounds that I had in there. That's all realistic. That's all part and parcel of video editing and scrubbing along. But a lot of people always worry about that video edits take so long and it's so hard to do. But it's also rewarding. That's what I like about it. I mean, I like video editing a little bit more than what I do like picture editing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt cats and ponies were underrepresented in that movie. Yes, Lauren, you're right. She had to bring it up. Yeah.
We know what Lauren's going to say.
Birds and more birds. And greyhounds, says Riz. So they're all... Well, look, I mean, make your own movies, you know, so we can see them on Facebook.
Actually, that is a pretty good program that I... What is it? What?
It's called iMovie.
iMovie. There you go.
It's, anyone that has got a Mac, iMovie is free, and you can just go into your application store, iTunes store, I think it is, and you can just download it for free there. Now, if you do not own a Mac, or you want to get deeper into video editing, there is also Blackmagic makes DaVinci Resolve, and you can download DaVinci Resolve for free, which is version 6, and that is
you got version 6, I got 16. But
yeah,
anyhow,
so PC it's called version DaVinci Resolve 16.
Yeah.
For Apple, it's for Mac, it's DaVinci Resolve 6. Also, then there are also obviously paid editing programs like you've got Premiere from Adobe, and then you've got Final Cut Pro, which is another Mac product, which is I'm not 100% sure. Let me know. It's about $400 odd or so. So
there is another one by Adobe called it's a free one.
Yeah.
Well, free for a while, but it is called Adobe Rush, I think it is. Premiere Rush. So if you're a subscriber with Adobe for Lightroom and Photoshop, you can get Premiere Rush, as well as the other one, Premiere.
I mean, Premiere Rush is a very basic editing program.
Yeah, it's very basic. Yeah.
But it is a misconception for a lot of people that think that you need video editing program to be able to do a movie like this. You need expensive video editing programs, and that's been debunked. Hopefully, just by me showing this.
Final Cut, yeah.
Okay, so Final Cut is $250. which is US.
Yeah.
We get done here. I think it's more than just over $400 or $500. If someone knows.
Yeah.
And of course, as Daniel said, you know, if you have got an iPad, a lot of people are doing video editing on the iPad, and the apps for the iPad are much cheaper. So LumaFusion, for instance, is $20, as he says. So that would be probably
just
Australian
going back to what you just said too, Mark, about cost is a huge thing here in Australia. It still comes back down when it comes into camera, lenses, video, all the equipment that comes with the video too, the mics, the preamps and whatever, you know. The government sees that as a luxury item. They're luxury items, and that's why they charge so much. And it's a bit more different over in the States. They work differently. Yes, they are cheaper, but here, which is a smaller country, well, not such a smaller country, but smaller population country, where it's, you know, we only have half the things that United States or UK that use. That's why we pay a lot more, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the thing is, Brett, that see, if what you could see there, the movie that I put together, I didn't record any audio, so that there is no audio that was living outside of my computer, so I didn't record anything. I mean, I do have I'm subscribed to a music mob that gives me music for that I have to pay for it, so I actually got a license for it, and also the special effects and everything that was in iMovie. And that's very substantial, and it's quite amazing what they give you there.
Yeah. And because Mark was using what you downloaded from Petapiscal or something like that.
It's the mob is called pexels.com. You will see that in my comment box and below. And all what they want is you to give them the credit for the movie. And then you get that for free. So if anyone wants any footage or anything like that for free, go and have a look at pexels.com. It can be used commercially and privately as well, and you can do with it whatever you like, I think. But
just remind them too, if people go and do that, just be aware that whatever music that you put into the video, make sure it's actually, you've got the license for it, because if you try to play it back on Facebook or YouTube and there's something on there that's not is copyrighted, they're going to take it down. So
exactly. So all my I'm with Artlist. If someone wants to know, I use Artlist music, and whatever, all the music that you see hearing in the background, all the intro music, etc., that's all licensed. So every song that comes from Artlist comes with its own license certificate, etc. So pretty good. There's other ones that are called what's the other one? Epidemic is another one, and there's a lot of music availability, but if you're not paying for it and if you don't have a license for it, don't put it up on YouTube or anything like that, because we got starving artists around, and they all want to deserve something. So there you go. As I was saying, the Final Cut Pro is $495 at the moment, and if you've got iMovie, you can probably do 3/4 of what Final Cut Pro can do. There are some special effects, etc. that I mean, the more you pay, obviously you can do more with it, obviously.
But like Mark just showed you the iMovies, and I'm not on a PC user, and I haven't really actually found something that's that good for the iMovies, like for PC.
But I told you to upgrade.
Anybody wanting to get into video, which we aren't going to encourage everybody to learn how to use videos.
Well,
You
the
gotta-
reason why I'm showing video is
Yeah,
that
you gotta,
your camera is also a video camera as well.
yeah. So here, anybody got the A7 III? This is a 4K video camera, hybrid, right?
Yeah.
The A9, the R4. You've got the capabilities to do 4K videos from these cameras. Use them. Learn how to use them, and you'll get some better picture from an iPhone or from your Android phone. Put it
Now-
that way.
Seeing that Facebook did a bit of a crappy job on my movie. If no one knows, Facebook can only play back 720p. It can't even do 1080p. So the footage will never be as sharp as what you can see on YouTube. So for that reason, I'm just gonna run the actual final and finished movie for you guys. If no one has seen this before, it just goes for an hour and a half. No, it's a minute and a half. Okay, so just have a look at the final finish, and you will get to appreciate. I mean, the whole thing took me very little time, but for a great result. So have a look at this.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go.
We've got one person. But
One
anyway,
person watching. What's that, Brett?
We've got one person. We had 10 people, and now we lost. I don't know what happened to Oreo and Memphis. Yeah.
Oreo lost it.
Yeah.
It's getting too late.
Funny, they can't hear us, but they can see us.
So there you go, Brett. They could hear us. We gave away too many secrets
lied.
right there and then.
Damn you.
Too funny. So, guys, there it was. There was the actual movie in full flight, and we hope that made a lot of sense. Now, it didn't. As I said, it didn't take long, and it's worthwhile trying out and just seeing what capabilities you actually have in your camera. Yeah, and also it's coming up to Father's Day or something like that, isn't it, Brett?
I
You
believe.
know, like sending your father a video would be interesting. Yeah. So has
Yeah.
anyone hands clapping? Daniel, hands clapping. Yeah.
Yeah. So being here, so what do you guys think from that? Just a pretty, really basic editing there and
Yeah, exactly.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look, it you can make it more complicated. It can be more interesting and more deep diving, but this concept that I put together for you guys is this is what you could use probably 99% of the time and come up with some really good video without spending too much time on all the little bits and pieces and all this researching. When it comes to audio and inserting special noises like the bird chirping, and maybe at the end I could have had children's noises, laughing, etc. That could have been another insert that I could have done, but overall, if we are not, we're not movie makers, but we can actually do some small level production, which is good.
Well, Scott, I'm not quite sure what default settings is when you go to the record button, but one thing I do know is that whatever you got set running, the aperture and all that, but then you need to go into your settings for what you're going to record in 4K or H, the formats and stuff like that. So, yeah. Because at the moment, here in Australia, we're only doing 25p. That's pretty much our highest. So if we switch over to NAT, what's that other one? Not Power, the other one, American one.
NTSC.
Yeah, NTSC, and then you'll have more options from 30p, 60p, 120p. But I don't know if that's risable.
You can shoot if you shoot in 30 frames, and it's not too much stuff moving around, like a water fountain or something like that. You shoot that in 30 frames, it should be okay. If you shoot in 60 frames, I mean, don't forget, guys, you can still do all this in 1080p. You don't have to go all the way to and record in 4K. It's not that necessary, it's I mean, I think this was all done in 1080 60 frames. So no big deal. It's
but the good thing is, I mean, if you record 4K and whatever edit program you're using, you can downgrade to 1080p or 780.
Yeah, a lot of people shoot in, as Daniel said, you shoot in 24p, 4K 24 or 4K 25.
Yep.
At 60 megabits per 60 megabits. But see, the big problem is if you do that, and if you want to slow your video down, you are stretching 24p or 24 frames per second, and then it won't look as good. So if you got slow motion in mind, if you want to slow down your movie, and so that is basically going to stretch your frames. So say you're doing 24p in 1 second, you're stretching that out. Then you got if you do it 50%, slow down at 50%, then you are at 12 frames per second. So you get this, then it starts sort of juddering along, and you're always better off recording something in a higher frame. Really depends on what you got in mind. But if you got a BMX biker or a skateboard rider actually doing performing a jump or something like that, and then you want to slow the edit down in post, you need the frames to be able to do that. I mean, you got also S&Q selection on your camera. Don't forget that, guys. But if you got S&Q, you can't record audio. Just to let everyone know. Yeah. Not on Sony's.
Daniel said misunderstanding. He asked what is the default, and I did say before I'm not sure what the default settings, because I've changed the default settings in mine.
Yeah, I've changed my one around so many times,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I,
Yeah.
I usually just I turn my selector and go into the movie settings when I actually want to shoot movie, because I've got more control over everything that I've got. There are actually more settings and more controls in there to be able to do movie centric stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't done much videos myself. I have done some time to time and that, but I haven't done anything flashy. And you know, when you start going color grading and sound, and you know, and so's Mark. Mark's done probably a bit more than I have, so he's got a better understanding. So for me, especially.
It is good fun. Like if you are out there, you're already out there and shooting and taking pictures, you know, and in your off time, say you're getting yourself a drink or whatever, just have the camera on a tripod and have the video running, and then you've got great video footage. It doesn't really matter how long it runs for or how short it is. It's all usable footage. And also remember, guys, when you do a transfer, like a picture transfer, the pictures and the movies are not in the same folder, so you have to look at I don't know where it is exactly, Brett, now I can't sort of remember, but you have to do a bit of digging in the actual SD card to actually find it.
Yeah, but the movies are in a private, it says a private folder, and you just got to click in it until you see the actual I think it says clips or something like that. I can't remember. But anyhow, you'll find them, and they'll be buried deep in there. I don't know why they do that, but they should make it a bit more easy than just like you do the stills. But yeah, I mean, as you said, being new photography and only recently purchased a A7 III, there's so much to learn. Yeah. It's very overwhelming, and it's also
just learn one setting at a time, Azza, and you can always have a look at Daniel Ockerlund has got a lot of information and tips that he gives out in his Facebook group. And if you want, Daniel, just put your Facebook group, just write that in the comments box, so maybe Azza can go there. And also Daniel does some YouTubes as well. Yep. And then there is also Mark Gaylor, who has got a lot of setup, video, etc., and PDFs as well that you can look at, and it's all for free. Yeah, learning on YouTube has become a great resource for a lot of people.
Yeah, for basic, but if you want to know more now, because now photographers are doing Patreons and stuff like that, so you need to, you know, go into, if you want to go more into video or still photography, you need to be going there, paid websites and stuff, and get more information and tutorials. Same with Mark Garland, you know, he gives out a lot of e-books and that, but you can pay like $5 towards him, or $10 to you know, get more advice and critics on your images or whatever. So there are other people who do the same thing. Yeah,
there you go. And Daniel said he's got something like 400 videos out there that are all related to what we're talking about here.
Yep.
And Daniel said he asked so many times for Sony to redo the folder names. It's silly to put it in a folder called private. Yeah, I agree with you, Daniel. It's
right. We
it is a bit hidden.
3 minutes off 2 hours. Mark.
Yeah, there you go.
So
now I should do a bit of a flog here, Brett, where we actually I'll just bring this up, and we can just talk about a little bit about workshops. Brett and I, if not together, we maybe even separate, will be offering in the future workshops, obviously. And if you just keep on watching this YouTube, we will be bringing that up as soon as we can get a workshop stage, we will be offering them. Brett also does photo walks and etc. And we love sort of helping people along. So you will see this was actually done in my studio, and I actually did a workshop on just one light. I think it was. Oh, we did multiple lights there as well that evening.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of interest, and I think a lot of people that came really had a good time as well and enjoyed it.
Yep.
And you do your workshops from your studio as well, Brett? At times?
Well, I did last year because of the location. It's probably a bit far out for those in Brisbane, but I'll see. But I think this year I'm more going to be concentrating on landscapes and that workshops and that. But may do. I'm hoping to do some portraiture location shoots. So we'll have a location and people can go, and we will bring lighting and stuff like that. And
pre-COVID, we were out there and scouting locations. So it will be a very interesting time once the gates open up again. We can go get full on into workshops.
Yeah. So at the moment,
there you go. Mark promised to waste 3 hours of my Sunday. And was I successful, Daniel? Like, oh, you want to go into the third hour now? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we're just on 2 hours now, and we have successfully drained out all our resources and all your time, I think. And I hope people got a little bit of information out of us. And we're trying to be a little bit different to other YouTubers, and we don't want to consistently talk about rumors and all that sort of stuff that's going to happen, and talk about all tech all the time, because it just does my head in sometimes. I would like to talk about more about the artistic aspect of photography.
Yeah. We like to educate people that's starting off, or that's hobby and they want to get more advanced. Yeah, and we don't. I mean, we can help others that a bit more advanced and all that, all pros, but we don't really want to get into the rumors, the techie and all that, I
mean, look, Lauren is cheeky. She goes, only 2 hours wasted. Lauren, you need to get back on your pony there. That's for sure.
Yeah. But, we enjoy, because we have a passion for photography, and now we're getting into videography. I can't even pronounce that.
I mean, we are not just YouTubers. I mean, we are mainly full-time photographers, and we're just doing this because we're totally bored.
But look, we are very passionate in what we do, and we are educated as well. So obviously, because we do our photo walks and workshops and that. So and we are. I mean, obviously, we really love, and we love being educators for anything photography related. So this is the reason why we've started all this YouTubing, etc. And we hope this will help people to advance. Just doing this live stuff was all pretty new to us. So.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you should have seen how Brett was shaking when I was telling him, look, Brett, we're going on YouTube and we're going to do this. And Brett was not really welcoming. He was not really in it. But now I think you come into the groove, haven't you, Brett? Like, it's really enjoying it now.
You sort of get used to it. It's daunting at first.
Yeah.
And, because you're looking in a camera and looking at a mic, and, and you're not seeing anybody in front of you or anything like that. So, but I have to tell you the truth. But doing this is much better than doing a live presentation. I can tell you. Yeah.
And you're going to be doing one soon, aren't you? Like, there's a sort of like a live presentation coming up. I heard this. There's a bit of chattering going on there.
I've done a live presentation in Camera Pro in Brisbane,
Yes.
And I had like something like I think I might have had about 25 people all sitting in front of me, and then I had the big large screen behind me showing my presentation and all that. And my God, I was so nervous and shaky, and I went for a whole liter of water that whole time, because my mouth was dry and trying to struggle to get the words out, and but yeah, I think I'd rather do a live on YouTube and then I would do physically in front of a live audience. So, but then that's just me.
Yeah, so guys, we're just gonna leave it at that. I was also just one more thing, Brett. I was thinking about eventually I would like to do have people maybe sending us or we need some way of getting hold of the pictures, and maybe just doing a bit of critiquing for people that want that. We could actually do that on this show, guys. So I will discuss that with Brett further, and we can just set up something so we can maybe have a segment where we can actually do a bit of critiquing from other people's pictures. And I promise we will be gentle and we won't hurt anyone in the process.
Guys,
I mean, we're not here to shitbag people and the images, but we want to give people advancements, and we want to give them ideas about what could be improved.
Well, if it is, guys, the guys that are watching, and people will watch later on, leave down in the comments. You want to submit your photos to us, and we'll do some critiquing on your work, and try to help you, make you aware that things that might be done differently or whatever, without no harassment or knock you down or anything like that. We're not about like that. So yeah, just comment down below and tell us what you think.
Yeah. So
and whatever else that you're gonna ask the people, whatever we'd like to see on the show and stuff. Yeah, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're here for the people, and we just want to hear if people want us to do something apart from the nasty stuff. We're willing to listen, and if there's any critiquing or anything like that about the show, just put that in the comment box, and we'll look at that. Obviously, as we already mentioned, Brett is organizing himself another microphone. We're working on the audio, but we are just trying to get into the full swings, because we've got planned to continue offering these shows every Sunday.
Yep, and then Sean's put a hand up.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyhow, by the way, guys, if you got other people that you know of in the photography, and if they're missing out shows like this, please do tell them. Send them over to Mark's channel and get them to subscribe. And and the more we can have, the more we can sort of give feedback and do more things. So.
Well, I'll discuss all this with Brett, as I said, and we can maybe do a critiquing. I mean, I think I've just thrown this at Brett, and caught Brett is in his underpants now. It's just
I warn you now. I can critique, but I don't do it very often. I'm always thinking in mind, but a lot of times I won't critique in text. It's a lot of things to explain why and blah blah blah, and some people sometimes when they actually read text can read things wrong, or read between the lines that what we're trying to say, and it can be misleading. So sometimes if we do it live and you're hearing our voice and what we're saying and seeing us, it's different. You get a different feeling to where we're coming from and what we're saying. So
okay. Yeah, and with that said, we've gone overtime again. We're over 2 hours. I'm sure Daniel wants to get off now. He's had enough of us. another boot full of show for you guys, and I hope that we are definitely going to see everyone again next Sunday at the same time again. And I also brought up a little mention about doing something for our European friends, and maybe doing a show maybe during the week or in a different time slot. But we are still building the people here in our numbers. So if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe. If you have not hit the bell down the bottom and given us a thumb up, then please do. Keep the thumbs down away.
Oh, John, you came in like, yeah.
Hey, John, you done it again. Good to see you, John. You can always replay all this, and we spoke about a lot of good stuff, and you'll see the video edits and also Brett's amazing images that he spoke about. So I hope you will enjoy that in the post video.
Yeah.
Try to send bad shots that could be easy peasy. 11 a.m. Sunday is good for Europe, I think. 11 a.m. Sunday. Okay, well, I'll keep all that in mind. I really have to think about this.
We'll read it, and we'll catch up on the news feed and see what you've been saying in the news feed. But
I think we could do a free up. You know, Brett. We could do a. We could do a like myself in the show, obviously, and then maybe 2 Skype people, someone from Europe, and you maybe Daniel wants to be in this. That would be interesting.
Yep, that'd be interesting. Yeah,
we can just pick Daniel's brains about small rig, and just see what new stuff is coming.
Love to have him on the show. So.
Okay, so it's 9 a.m. to about 12 a.m. for Europe, right? Zhong is in Wollongong. So that's the time you start it now. So that's the time you start it now.
This is bedtime now.
Past my bedtime, 10 minutes. Well, go to bed, rest. Okay, guys, so have a beautiful week and enjoy yourselves, and get out there. Take your cameras out and do some videoing. Use the video ideas that I've just given you, and Brett has just shown you some amazing pictures. So just go out there and try and match us. We want to see it, or even outdo us. That'll be more fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah,
absolutely. So until next week.
Thanks, guys.
Ahoy.